So the news that DJI Air2s fans have been waiting to hear for ever such a long time, the Air2s is now compatible with the DJI RC controller, which was launched with the DJI Mini 3 Pro. This is absolutely perfect for those of you that have both of these drones, or certainly want to take both of the drones on one particular shoot and just want to take the one controller. And indeed, this controller compatibility just makes the Air2s that little bit better if you don't want to use a mobile phone. But in this video, I'm going to very quickly show you what you need to do in what order to get these working, because there is a bit of a strange way you need to do it. So let's crack straight on into it. So first of all, there is a new firmware update for the DJI Air2s to basically allow this to happen. As you can see on screen, this adds compatibility for the American remote ID. No, I'm not going there with that one. So if you don't want that to be on your device, you cannot update this firmware, so just be aware of that. But it does add the compatibility for the DJI RC, and it also gives us the ability to adjust the EXP settings in Cine smooth mode. Something I'm really looking forward to. Now, unfortunately, ask me how I know, if you first of all update the firmware on this controller and not the firmware on this, it will not work. So what you need to do is you need to actually grab, if I can figure it out, your RCN1 controller, as you can see there. You need to update the firmware on the Air2s using your standard mobile phone and DJI Fly app. Then, after you've done that, then it will be compatible with this. If you don't do that step first and you just think about updating the firmware on this and pairing it, unfortunately it just will not work. Okay, so you will need to revert back to the previous, which is of course a bit of a pain in the bum, so please make sure you do that first. So let's quickly talk about this then. To update the firmware on this, you need to do it in the usual way. Swipe down on your screen, connect to your home Wi-Fi. Once you've connected to your home Wi-Fi, we need to go and manually check for a firmware update. You can see there is one available. This of course adds the support for the DJI Air2s, gives us the ability for the EXP settings in Cine smooth mode. It also launches DJI Fly 1.7.8 onto this controller as well, which of course is the latest version launched this morning. And 1.7.8 also includes a bunch of additional features for the DJI Mini 3 Pro, but that's something I'm going to cover in a completely separate video. So what we need to do is I'm going to show you now this is all up to date. Now our Air2s is up to date, just what we need to do to connect them both together, and then of course make sure that we do get a live feed and that things basically work. I'm not going to do a full flight on this test, it's just more getting you connected so you can go out and fly straight away. So we've got our controller, it's turned on, so let's go ahead and hit connection guide. As you can see, we've got the DJI Mini 3 Pro, we've got the Mavic 3, and now the DJI Air2s. Let's go ahead and click the DJI Air2s, and at this stage the Air2s is not turned on, and that's for a reason. As you can see on screen, we've got the firmware version inconsistent, update firmware before use. That's basically because whether you're flying the Mavic 3, the Mini 3 Pro, or the Air2s, the firmware that's on the controller, it uses a slightly different piece of firmware which is installed, so that's why it needs to update this. So we're going to click continue, and this should be done fairly shortly. Okay, it says approximately 1 minute, but I reckon it'll be done quicker than that, and it of course is. Firmware updated, relink device to aircraft if device restarts automatically. Right, so on screen we've got the message unable to connect to aircraft. So what I'm going to then do is just turn our Air2s on in the usual manner, and then pop that down for a second, and you'll see why in a moment. I'm just going to wait that to boot up, and I think that's pretty much there, or certainly will be in the next few seconds. There we go, we are all booted up. So what we're going to do now is click unable to connect to aircraft, and then we're going to put our controller in pairing mode. Okay, so let's click pair, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our DJI Air2s, sorry about the beeping, and we're going to press and hold for 4 seconds. There you go. Now the Air2s is in pairing mode right now. After a couple of seconds, you can see that stopped. These have all paired up, hopefully. And any second now, I'm hoping we're going to get something on our screen. Hopefully. Okay, let's just cancel that. There we go. That is the feed of the DJI Air2s. Brilliant. So yep, certainly you can see that this is the screen from our DJI Air2s. We can stick it in Cine Smooth mode, we can stick it in normal mode, sport mode. Let's rotate the gimbal, down then up, etc, etc. Yep, we can start recording. Pretty good to me, guys. So just to check the additional feature we was promised with the new firmware update and this then, let's go into our settings, let's click control, and as you can see we've got advanced, and there we go. Not only do you have sport and normal, we also have Cine Smooth mode, so we can adjust the EXP settings in Cine Smooth mode as well. This is absolutely ideal, especially for getting some beautiful cinematic shot. So there we go. The DJI Air2s works with this controller and I'm super excited to get out and try these for myself. Please do remember to make sure you do it in the exact order I've told you in this video, otherwise it'll end up being a bit of a pain in the bum. But anyway, I'm off to work. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you have got this controller pairing, if you do encounter any problems, again, let me know in the comment section and I will go and investigate for myself. But ultimately, this is a hugely positive update and I cannot wait to get started. Until next time, please do give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and see you again soon.